Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host Paul James, and today I'm joined by Damo Camilleri.
November.
He's rocking the mo. It's looking pretty sharp at the moment. We're only early days, so I'm curious to see how it'll be by the end of the month.
You don't want to know.
So we're doing our patched updates for our first episode this month. Largely because there's one game I in particular need to talk about because the embargo lifted today. You might have gotten a little hint already. Some people have been cottoning onto it via YouTube already. Via Twitter already. But
Yeah, it's Mario wedding.
So before I jump into that, Damo, what have you been playing lately?
Fallout 4.
Loving it?
I'm finally getting around to it, people. And yes, I am loving it. Unfortunately, I think I missed the PlayStation Store sales, which
okay.
I actually just got to go home and check. But like last time, it was actually cheaper to buy the DLCs individually than it was to buy the season pass because the sales were that great on the individual DLC. So
yeah, okay.
I mean, if you can pick it up for like $12 almost, all three pieces or whatever, how many of it's out there. So it's like, I mean, I've still got a lot to play.
You still got the main game really to smash.
Yeah, I've only got to Diamond City, but I'm like level 26 now. I'm just doing all kinds of weird shit.
You played a bunch of Fallout 3, right?
I played the shit out of Fallout 3.
Does it just feel like Fallout 3.5 to you?
No.
So there's nothing new about it. You're happy?
Oh,
I couldn't get into Fallout 4. I really tried.
There was
Fallout's just doesn't seem.
It's
to be
definitely an extension. Like it's kind of like new Star Wars. Yeah, there's hints at the old nostalgic feels, but there's enough new stuff to keep you entertained. The biggest gripe, and it's a lot of gripe people have. I mean, it's not like it broke the game for me. It just kind of makes things more like. In Fallout 3, your weapons and armor would break and stuff like that. This one, anyone that's played it knows they don't.
Alright, cool.
So you don't have to repair stuff. Like, you can obviously do mods and things, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. But it's like, back then it was like really...
But you don't have to worry about it breaking.
Yeah, so you had weapons on you to go, okay, shit, like an extra armor. You're like, you kind of strategized a lot more. The game was pretty easy, don't get me wrong, and it's still easy in this one. But it's just... I don't think it's a game that I will return to going, oh, yeah, like, I'm going to go out. Like, I'm not a survival mode junkie or anything like that. I'm not going to, not fast travel and not quick save and stuff. Especially with some of the bullshit that happens. Legendary creatures and things. It's kind of cool. Mirelurks are bitches. Asshole, bastard, crab-looking thing. You know what a Mirelurk is, yeah?
Yeah, vaguely.
I used to think they were called Murlurks, but that's dumb. It's real dumb.
Anything else you've played? Actually, before you do, how many hours of Fire Emblem have you played this month?
Oh. Nah, not that much, actually.
You're waiting for your Switch so you can play.
Oh, no. Actually, I did pump in a good lot because I was playing Echoes. Again, I was getting back into Echoes. That game has like a really steep curve. Like, it's like... Yeah, everything's going around, you're kicking butt, yeah, you're grinding out. And then it's just like, oh, do you want to fight the final boss? Ba-boom! It's like...
Oh, it's just monster spike.
What is this? Yeah, it's like, all your dudes are like level 20 and stuff like that, 25, and it's like, oh, cool, and that's me grinding, being just that little bit in front so, battles are easier, and then it's like, this dude's 50. And it's like, oh, and everyone's like, oh, so I actually had to look up things to do, and I was like, yeah, no, you're just gonna craft this, and then she'll get this thing, and I'm like,
but it shouldn't be like that.
No, there's a bit of pay to win if you want. You can buy the DLC I know a lot of people
that gives you more missions to do so that you can then...
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the hard grind, but my friend used it just because, like, when you go into a dungeon, you can actually avoid everything and just find the treasure rooms.
Yeah.
So he'd go in, run past the enemies, go to the treasure rooms and get like an astronomical amount of treasure. So he started with almost everyone having like a pearl or something like that, which boosts like all your stats as they level up. So like his stats were really high and stuff, and I was like, see, I have no urge for that anymore. The next Fire Emblem game that comes out, hopefully,
on the Switch.
Yeah, it should be out on the Switch.
No, it is like for next year.
Yeah, I know, but like, you know what I mean? Like the we'll get to that. Like what it's going to look like. Oh, but yeah, so played a bunch of that.
We'll have to have a dedicated
Played a bunch
episode at some point that is Damo predicting what Fire Emblem next will be.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
What they need to do. No, we'll shelve that.
But that's
pick your brain.
You can pick the crap out of my brain. And then I've been playing Fire Emblem Warriors on my friend's Switch, which was okay to begin with. I will admit, Nintendo, you kind of stuffed up a bit. You always do, because some of the English voices, yeah, it's not that great. But they allowed Japanese voices. Like there was an update that gave you Japanese voices as well, so you could select between the two. And it's like, oh, good. That sounds more like what I envisioned the character to sound like, and that's really weird when they do already have voice acting for a lot of the characters I know and like.
Yeah.
But like,
there's just
you just got to tone down Carmella. She says some raunchy stuff.
But the voice just doesn't quite...
The voice didn't suit me 100%, but the Japanese voice did a lot better. Like
in that particular case, what was it about the voice that didn't create the disconnect?
No, it's just
too squeaky.
Because the biggest problem I had was you had the English voice actor in Fates, which is not didn't come out that long ago. Yeah. So why would you use someone else for the same character in a new game?
Yeah, that'll be one for Tecmo. Because, yeah, they developed it.
Yeah, I know. So. But, why don't you guys just go... that'd be like me going, hey, I'm going to do this, spin-off series, but we're going to use that character, but not that same actor.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just the kind of... didn't make a lot of sense. The English voice in that was pretty good in the DS, on Fates. DS, not so much. The combat system's amazing. If you like any of the... Dynasty Warriors Warriors games, in reality it's pretty fun. It's kind of got elements of Fire Emblem, you can actually highlight your guys to go here.
Yeah, I've kind of heard this does the best. I mean, obviously they've only done Dragon Quest and Zelda as IP that aren't.
Oh, and Gundam. Warriors. You got Gundam Warriors.
Oh,
praise to Gundam.
Cool. I've heard that this is the best kind of spin-off at accurately representing what the franchise is.
Yeah, definitely. You've got Zelda, the skill trees and stuff.
It feels like Zelda outside of some of the weapons, but otherwise it was just a skin. Dragon Quest, I've been fairly happy with, but even then, that's a turn-based game. Traditionally, then all of a sudden it's...
Yeah, the Zelda one was tricky.
Slash through thousands, and then this sounds like, because of some of those strategy elements you were talking about.
Yeah,
it's
and even the skill tree. Think of the skill tree, and you can inherit traits and things like that, which is really cool of them to do. It's like, cool. I'm just going to get this person to get to here, then everyone else can inherit that trait, and friendship seals and things like that. It's kind of a really, really cool feature, and they've got the friendship rating, so the A+, so C, B. A+, I think. I don't think they got S. No one can get...
Love a good S rank.
Pardon?
Love a good S rank.
And it's cool because this time they actually tell you how to get S rank in your things. Hyrule Warriors that didn't. You just kind of you'd be like, Grouse, I'm going for the S rank. How many enemies do I actually have to kill, and what time do I have to beat it in? So you kind of would just have to guesstimate. You'd have to be like, okay, it's probably going to be 1,000 dudes. I'll kill 1,000 dudes.
Learn
and
by
I'll
doing it dozens of times.
Yeah, and I mean, it's cool because you get the grind, but there's so much to do in these games, and especially when you're grinding for items. Last thing you want to be doing is sitting there going, I just missed the S rank by freaking 100 dudes. I could have just killed that pile over there. I still had 2-3 minutes left. So in the case of Fire Emblem, they kind of clue you into what you're doing. They're actual things, and the Ana quest, it's here's this is what you do to activate Ana sequences, Hyrule Warriors that had the skeletons would appear, but I think there was triggers for that as well, but you just didn't know. I don't know, I didn't really look into the skeleton things. I'll let other people do that stuff. Yeah.
And you were going, before I kind of initially joked at Fire Emblem, and then it became all serious. What else have you been playing? Or is that about it?
I did play that game, that last game of the month.
Oh, Castlevania.
Castlevania. If you want to go back and
Last week's episode of the Games Club.
watch that was interesting.
Or just listen, really, because we did it over Skype, so you're just watching gameplay and us talk.
Yeah, watching Paul's gameplay. No.
Yeah.
Played a bit of that. I'm trying to think. There was something else. I picked up Shadow of Mordor again because one of my students.
Oh, the original one, yeah.
One of my students was playing that, so I was like, oh yeah.
Was your student playing the actual Shadow of Mordor, or are you talking about Shadow of War?
No, Shadow of Mordor, because it was like it was $8 on Steam, so.
Yeah, there was some crazy sales on that just before this
Halloween sale, but you know what the worst thing is? A couple of weeks from now, you get the Black Friday sales as well. So start saving your pennies, people.
Especially if you're a Steam person, because it's just ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure the PlayStation Store is going to do the exact same thing as well. Like, at this stage, it's kind of bummed that I didn't buy, like, a hard drive when I started off my thing and put 2 terabytes in my PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, but at that same point, it's like, you can always just reinstall something. Like,
the internet's getting better and better. You can just delete a game, download a new one overnight or whatever, and then you're good to go. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, I picked that up and I just dabbled in that because it was like, and then I actually watched my mate play Shadow of Mordor, and I was like, this looks really pretty. So where does this fit in the storyline? And he just kind of looked at me with this like dead look on his face, like, we don't ask those questions. And I'm like, damn, really? So I'll have to check it out myself to see.
It does fit in there. It's just a bit of it's kind of running simultaneously to what's going on in Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Because in the first one, you do bump into characters that are on their way to certain places at key times, which if you've seen the films, it links up with. If you read the books, it'll link up with as well.
And if you're going to watch the Netflix series, the Amazon series, be my guest. Amazon want to bring Lord of the Rings TV series.
Oh, really?
I don't know what they mean by that. If they mean the universe, or if they mean, hey, this is the Lord of the Rings remake, which they called it. You sleepy bastards. Somebody else called it, and they're like, yeah, that'll probably be the next big remake. They were like that or Back to the Future, but it's besides the point of this conversation. And I did watch. I had no interest in playing Super Mario Odyssey because I'm that kind of person that's like, whatever. It's a Mario game. It's gonna be good. I'll get around to playing it.
He's regretting it.
Oh god, it looks so good. It just looks like all the fun, except for those tricky little hobbits things they do, little bastards, where they're like, hey, this is actually how you're supposed to play.
We're leaning heavily into the Lord of the Rings stuff, hobbits and all that.
Well, we're talking about it. It's a good thing. Smeagol did a good job when he's like, tricksy hobbitses. But it's something about you run, dash, you throw your hat, which you're able to jump off it again, and then you can do another run, dash off your hat, and that's how you get through huge
some
distances.
Of those ridiculous distances,
And you get secret moons and things, but there's nowhere in the game that kind of tells you that you can do that. It's just a thing that people have discovered you can do, and it's like, cheeky bastards.
It's vintage Nintendo.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that have 100%ed it now, and it's just like, cool. I wish I didn't have a life.
Well, Angelica's a fair way through. I think she's about to beat Bowser. She's got a few hundred moons.
Yeah.
And it's tracking really well. But on the other hand, thanks to a million other games I've had to play and packs and all that sort of stuff, haven't really touched on it too much yet.
Yeah, well, I think there's you get enough moons to get to the dark side of the moon. Then there's a darker side of the moon, and then there's the darkest moon or something like that. There's 225 moons or something.
Pink Floyd's just standing there going, sup?
Yeah, that's it. Just playing some epic guitar.
So
what have you played?
Mine, I'm going to skim through a few quickly because there's one I need to talk about specifically. I have messed around with Shadow of War. I'm about halfway through that. Then PAX came along, other things came along, and I've just not been able to get back to it. Assassin's Creed's in the pile to play. Mario.
Is that Origins?
Origins. Okay. I played about half an hour of Mario just while I was sitting in the queue to play Sea of Thieves.
In that PAX. Half an hour, you got about 100 moons, yeah? 1 moon.
It's a nice little tutorial, but it ended in a moon, and then I went off to play Sea of Thieves afterwards, so I was happy. A few different indie games, and obviously a large number of games at PAX there, which Jay and I are recording an episode online tonight, which you'll see later in the week. So tune in for that one, where we'll talk a bit more about what we saw and played at PAX. But the one I need to talk about specifically, because the embargo lifted today, is Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds. So
that's out now?
It is out as of this moment.
I should have probably bought that in the sales.
So we're recording this a day before. If you can pre-order it now and get a 10% discount.
Oh no, I meant the game. I borrowed the game, remember?
Oh, well, I'll lend it to you again because I've already finished the DLC. So the DLC is out. When kind of the PR spin basically said that it was going to be about 15 hours ish of additional content thrown in there.
Fuck, it's alright.
Obviously not all of that is like campaign mission sort of stuff. That's probably about a third to half of what's there. Then the rest is more side missions. There's more collectibles and just a whole bunch of other stuff to kind of see and do.
Oh, some of those collectibles were nasty in the original game.
There was a lot in that main game, and there's still a fair bit there, but it's all proportional. So it's personally, I didn't really have that much interest in chasing down a whole bunch of collectibles originally, but I did intend to go back because of trophies, and I will still platinum that game at some point.
That brings up some breaking news, but were there more costumes? More outfits?
Yes.
Well, I am sold, because 90% of those costumes were ridiculous. But that being said, the stealth one with the kind of the netting thing was just like, it had some form of nostalgia to me, and back in high school days, the stupid shit people used to wear. Don't know why. Just kind of reminded me of that. So there was new costumes, but at the end of the day I didn't go for any of them, because the outfit that I did have was that ultimate one that you get in the main game, which is just really annoying in the cutscenes, seeing the...
Yeah, it's kind of blinking and shining, but it was quite OP, so I always wore it, and I stuck with it even in this DLC. You go to a new northern, kind of northeast sort of region of the map that you couldn't get to before. I realised that I'd looked at the little wall to get up there in the past, but it had, the time had no way to get up there. I can get up there now. You introduced to a new tribe. I'm going to be very, very careful not to spoil anything for Damo and you guys watching.
He's on a leash, peeps.
The Banuk tribe. There's kind of a brother and sister dynamic that's going on between two key characters there, and kind of almost a reuniting sort of going on there. And then there's new mechanical monsters to defeat. There's a giant volcano which you have to explore, kind of one of the cauldrons like before in the main game. Some of those I spoke about, new mechanical monsters. There are some new ones there that really kind of test the way you played before. Like they kind of have designed them specifically because they know that the approach from most people in the game was just stealth around really slowly and just pick them off as when you had that split second.
Barely using your rocks and things like that, because you're just able to call them over.
So even in terms of humans, there's an encampment that I went to go take on, and they had the guy was wearing some sort of gear that would just scan the region.
Oh, like one of those scrappers.
Kind of like what kind of like what they do.
Something over there.
So I'm standing in the middle of the bushes, having just killed this guy, and they all flock over, and I go, yeah, whatever. You stand there, and he goes, I'll scan the area. I'm like, oh shit! And he scans the area, and I try to run as quickly as it didn't matter, because he'd scanned me. They all saw me, and they just turned and fired, and it was over. I learnt my lesson there.
Poorly not setting up traps. What a pleb.
Well, no, because I was standing here to you distance away from them.
Yeah, I know.
I was in the bushes.
You always before I kill anyone, I always set up some tripwires and shit.
Oh, see, I just stealth through and just.
I was like a brawler through most of that game, which is incredibly dumb. But
well, yeah, the game's not really designed for brawler, but
yeah, I know. I'm just that good at that game. That good.
And then when it came to some of the big, your Thunderjaws and stuff, it was always just running around. Bang, bang, bang. Take a few shots. Bang, bang, bang. Like I've got a gun.
Well, yeah, I used to use
and kind of sliding around. You get hammered, and I think without that,
I tied it down, blew off its weapons,
pick them up and then
pick them up and just... Oh, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
But it's
101
so you can't
Predator
kill it.
talk. Pardon?
But it's mechanical, so...
It does, it bleeds oil.
Well, it drops oil, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Fuck you, Paul.
So, yeah, there's a new species called the Scorcher there.
Scorcher.
Probably self-explanatory.
Probably
breathes a lot
things.
breathes a lot of fire, and that kind of, because it got this ranged approach, despite the fact that it can kind of run around and get to you really quickly as well.
Oh, that's cool. That's like a mid-range. I like it.
Mid-range sort of approach means that it can be quite tough from time to time, and even one on its own can still cause you some headaches. So when you have to deal with multiple ones...
Alright, is it worse than the stalkers? The camouflagey bitches?
You do have to deal with a few stalkers.
God,
but
damn it!
There's like
there's annoying.
One scene. There's one segment where you have to, and then there might be some around the world that I just didn't come across. I don't know, but
we're just sitting there waiting,
and I just never showed. But
Paul gets shot.
When you say worse, what do you mean? As in like hard?
Oh, they were just because like those things were tricky. Like the stealth wasn't an issue for me. Like it was like, yeah, I can echo blast you. Your stealth's broken. But they'd never approach, so they'd always attack you at a distance, or they'd never they were clued in on your traps or whatever. I just don't know how the AI worked with them. They were bastards. But when they got up close, it was so hard sometimes, like because you go to hit them, but they just do the, and it's like chunky your life every time.
So the Scorchers are probably they're probably tougher to deal with, not because they are up to any of those sort of shifty things, but like they'll breathe fire at you, and while your kind of screen is full of flames and stuff, they'll take off and run straight at you, and all of a sudden it's right up in your face, trying to curb stomp you into the ground. And like they're big things. They're big things as well. So they like
sweet.
When they hit you hard.
Awesome.
There's a couple other species I won't talk about because they kind of emerge.
Can you eventually override all these things? Well, there's no real...
Presumably, I wasn't...
I
hadn't overridden any of them.
No.
But it may be just something I need to...
That could be... Well, hey, no, that could be a...
I would imagine that's something, though, that you could only do post. Because otherwise it would totally break what they were trying to go for. This whole region, it's northern east sort of area, it's... I mean, we know Horizon's a snowy sort of mountainous sort of region as it is. Times it by about 2 or 3, and that's what you've got in this area. So
it's desert mountains. Gotcha.
Blizzards everywhere, and very hard to see at the best of times. I really enjoyed it. Yep. I mean, Horizon. I've been quite clear that I've only spent about half an hour with Mario, and I haven't even done the first Divine Beast when it comes to Zelda, and they're probably 2 of the 3. Horizon being the third one of the big 3 this year. Horizon is my favourite game of this year to this point.
Fair enough.
And I thoroughly enjoyed the DLC. It is more of the same. It's not necessarily doing anything particularly special and new. Like, it introduced some new species, and that's cool.
Yeah, but it's
not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, which is good. Which is what I kind of like from DLC. It's like, I know it's
more of what I liked.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if I'm paying for an expansion on a game, I just want the same game with a few extra things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going out and buying each part of StarCraft going, oh, this is bullshit. The Terrans still the Terrans. You know?
So, yeah, there's new outfits. There's some new weapons. There's new weapon types as well, so you can use those. There's new enemies. There's new skills that can be unlocked. There's a whole kind of new branch to the skill tree there that's available to you. If you're a high enough level when you start the game anyway, you've already got a few skill points banked, and you can just pop straight into those. You can at least reach level 60 now. I think I'm like level 59, and there's a trophy for level 60. I don't know I think it might extend a little bit beyond that, because I wouldn't have enough skill points to unlock every single skill if I didn't progress through that.
But there might be those like submissions that give you
there could be those sort of as well.
It's like a reward skill point. It's like, see what you're doing there. It's nasty.
Yeah. And then there's just some nice, cool little twists on, like, you know how we dealt with the long necks in the past. They're always just walking around, and you just find a way to get up there. Like this one, you kind of got to... No, I won't tell you how you do it, but like there's a little twist to how you have to deal with that.
You get a zip line, like Captain Planet.
Yeah. So Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds, big thumbs up. It's awesome. If you're on the fence about picking it up. If you've not picked up the original Horizon, well, that's your mistake. But you should have absolutely done it already by now. Frozen Wilds, yeah, absolutely get it. You'll thoroughly enjoy it, especially if you enjoyed the main game as it currently stands. I'm real keen to see when Horizon 2 emerges. It's
next year, or you reckon? Or is there another PlayStation show that they might show it off? I think something that big.
Unbelievable if they manage to get it out. Get like the first.
Oh no! I just mean like a trailer or something.
That's what I meant. Even that, I think that's real soon for a game. Kind of your big open world sort of RPGs. I mean, think about admittedly Bethesda's kind of slow, but
don't talk about Bethesda.
But 2011 was Skyrim, and then it was 20.
Oh, and then it was 2017 for
2016
Skyrim. Switch edition.
They're still flogging Skyrim.
Don't get it. Stop supporting.
I mean, it's not out of the realms to think that's possible. Like BioWare was getting Mass Effect games out every 2 years for a while there, or 2 to 2.5 years.
Oh, right. Put it this way.
But
not Last of Us. Actually, Last of Us, wasn't. Yeah, fair enough. Last of Us will probably be the next big thing that they're churning.
Well,
they'll keep that under wraps.
They've got a lot going there. Did you see the PlayStation thing last week?
No, I did not.
Last of Us was there.
Yeah, I know. I'm yet to watch it because I don't want to watch it unless I'm on a big screen.
So, well, maybe we'll have to do that after this. Yeah, we'll watch it after this then. PlayStation probably doesn't need to hurry when it comes to...
PlayStation have to do shit right now.
Well, but they don't need to go, oh, hey, we've got this big thing coming. Please stay interested in our platform, because they've got... and this is off the back of the Paris Games Week thing last week. They've got the release date for Shadow... What do you call it? Shadow of the Colossus, February.
Yes, another remake, which I'm more than happy.
But not a remaster, full-on remake. So
yeah, well, that's it. People were like, "Can you just give us an original thing?" And they're like I just saw the amount of tweets that came out at that person was like, "Yes, they are doing that. They're just giving us something that we also want." Like, what are you complaining about? Exactly. Like, you're getting something that you loved renewed, but you're also still getting plenty of new content. Yeah. It's not like they're going, shit, we're such a small resource, let's pump our money into nothing but remakes.
Yeah, it's not that at all. So you've got Shadow of the Colossus. God of War is meant to arrive in the first quarter to first half of next year.
The new God of War.
Detroit Become Human is amazing. I played it at PAX. I loved the demo.
Was that the...
And they put out a new trailer, which is...
Dad that beats and kills the kid or whatever?
Thankfully you don't see that. But yeah, it leans heavily on domestic violence.
Yeah, no, that looked amazing.
Yeah, you've got... so Detroit Spider-Man's next year.
Spider-Man.
Those are the big four that they kind of showed at the conference there that are projected for next year.
Support the big four.
Days Gone is supposed to be somewhere along the way. That's the kind of zombie, post-apocalyptic, very Last of Us, but kind of open world sort of thing. They announced a few other new games there. Ghost of Tsushima, which is the new one from the Infamous guys.
That's the samurai thing, yeah?
So you've seen that one. And then you add The Last of Us and Death Stranding and all those sort of games on top of it. PlayStation's set for a long time, so they don't need to hurry, they don't need to rush.
Look, and there's enough content in some of these games. Even if you're a dedicated hardcore gamer, there is still things that you're obviously going to progress to hit. As the article that I kind of read, which I went at you before, was the possibility of getting discounts or store credit
for trophies.
On the trophies.
I think that's only a US thing. I think that's only a US thing.
Yeah, as if they're not going to bring it over here just because of your massive schlong when it comes to platinums. Can you imagine every platinum you got, there was $1? You got $1? This guy would have a total of $1.
I'd have about $10.
Yeah, see? $10.
But that's alright.
It's good incentive to... Yeah. Can you,
Well, Nintendo tried to do that sort of thing for... They didn't have their in-game achievement system, but the cards that were inside... The reward cards, and you built up coins.
When Australia got dogged again.
No, well, we got it.
Yeah, no, we did, but we had terrible prizes at the beginning.
The prizes were pretty ordinary, but that was...
I brought hand towels, and then they released all the good stuff.
Yeah, and so we'd already blown all our credits. So
yeah, I was like, what else am I going to do? Hand towels, cool.
So yes, PlayStation's going to be right for a while, I think.
Yeah, of course they are.
Anything else that you're planning on playing in the coming on? Obviously Fallout.
Yeah, probably just focusing on Fallout. I may or may not get to Metal Gear. I know that's a big chunk, but
You're a PlayStation Plus person, right?
yes,
Yeah, cool.
I got it for
You've
nothing.
redeemed it?
Yes, I redeem everything.
New games today, people.
Oh, really? I don't think there's anything that I really wanted in the new games.
No, it wasn't nearly as good as the last few months.
Oh, but you know what?
Still a good round, but you can't have just this onslaught for 12 months. So
yeah, I mean,
Worms is cool. Everyone likes Worms.
That's actually something that's really cool. I love it when they give they're like, hey, here's a game that's multiplayer local. Works, you know what I mean?
No,
like if you normally any game that normally has a vast collection of solo played games because whatever, but when your mates rock around, it's
except if you're an EA employee, apparently you don't play single player games. Morons. Continue though.
You got thing, and it's always good to have a couple of games in your library that it's like, throw a controller at your mate, and you're like, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have split screen much anymore, so a lot of things are online.
Can't Borderlands, get your new game out there so we can play more split screen.
It's going to be solo player. It's going to be solo player that with
they'll pull a Halo 5 like, sorry, we can't make it work.
But it'll have multiplayer online only.
I hope not.
I can see it now.
Just another excuse for me to have 2 PlayStations in the house.
That's it.
Or Xboxes or whatever.
Or maybe it'll go to the Nintendo Switch so you can have it on your screen and up on the thing. Actually, that's one more thing. That's really cool. They finally optimized multiplayer on the Switch for the Warriors with Fire Emblem. So you can actually have performance mode and visual mode. I mean, the unfortunate thing is if you play multiplayer, don't try and look for S-classes. There's just not enough enemies in co-op. Like, they just can't handle that power. But it runs real smooth. Like, unlike Hyrule Warriors, it was trashy. Fire Emblem Warriors knocks it out of the ballpark. It's really cool. Unless you're both doing a super move at the same time, it kind of lags out. But I mean, if you're going to be complaining about that, you brought the wrong console and the wrong game.
No, you got to know what you're in for when you get the Switch. And I mean, it's still doing some gorgeous games.
Oh, it's doing amazing work. Look, you play that thing solo player, it looks beautiful. That's why I'm so excited about
Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, let alone the Switch version, looks better than 99% of games out there.
I'll pay it.
Maybe not things like Horizon, Witcher, and Uncharted, but like the vast majority. But
Grand Theft Auto.
It certainly has.
Pong.
It certainly has GTA and Fallout covered. But, as far as what I'm concerned, it'll be Assassins, Shadow of Mordor, South Park, Mario.
Oh, South Park! Yeah, I'll probably pick that up.
And my Xbox One X, which that's another one that's out today. So go pick that one up.
Xbox One X.
Xbox.
Oh yeah,
XBOX.
Yeah.
So well done, Microsoft. We figured we've pumped up Nintendo, we've pumped up Sony. Well done.
Oh, you can throw the dog a bone.
Your naming conventions
as it runs into the window.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. So, Damo, you can be found at Tacos Talks on Twitter.
Yes.
Myself, you can find me at PaulJamesP2 on Twitter. The website, Player2AU on Twitter.
Do you guys have a Snapchat yet?
No.
Oh, get one.
I'll send you selfies all day. So make sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel where you can catch up with weekly episodes of this shit show, the Games Club, the Insider. There's weekly Player 2 plays, and a whole bunch of trailers and other stuff as well. There's a lot of PAX features up on the website at the moment, so make sure to visit player2.net.au for all that. You'll see, there's lots of PAX features. There's reviews, including my Horizon one. Sony, you sent it to us. That voids any and all concerns. We didn't do anything unethical. It didn't fall off the back of a truck. Make sure to visit the website for that. Features, reviews, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Peace.